Vaccine mandates are popping up across America like zits on teenagers. Over 360 colleges are requiring students to take the coronavirus vaccine, which they're still not fully approved by the FDA. And a federal judge ruled that a Texas hospital system can force its employees to get vaccinated, dismissing a lawsuit that claims such a mandate would make them human guinea pigs. This week, Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky, the great Commonwealth, introduced a bill that would prohibit vaccine mandates for members of the armed forces. Here with me tonight, here he is, Kentucky, our Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member, Thomas Massie. Welcome back. Let's get sassy with Massie.
Let's get sassy.
So, you say it's unconstitutional for members of the military to be forced to have this vaccine. Is there a big issue with our soldiers and airmen not taking it on their own?
Well, let's set aside the constitutionality, the legality, or the ethics of it. It's not scientific to force them to take the vaccine, and I'll tell you why. Number one, these shouldn't be vaccine passports. Even if you don't care about the Constitution, they should be immunity passports, and half of the people probably already have immunity conferred to them as a result of recovering from a natural infection. And they don't give you credit for that. Number two, the category of healthy adults, and most of them are male, but age 18 to 24 are the ones who are least susceptible to COVID and most likely to have an adverse reaction called myocarditis.
That is the heart inflammation, with the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine.
That's right, swelling of the heart. And they say, oh, it's just a mild case of a swelling of the heart and you'll probably live. But why take the risks, number one, for these people who've already got immunity because they've been infected and recovered? And why take the risk if it's such a low risk if they get COVID anyway? So my bill doesn't just keep the military from forcing them to get the vaccine. It keeps the military from giving them disparate treatment. For instance, putting them in substandard housing or making them wear a mask. And there are members, the reason I introduced this bill, Kennedy, I didn't sit here in the swamp and dream it up. I have constituents who are in the military who've called me up and they say, I'm going to take a general discharge. It probably won't be a dishonorable discharge, won't be an honorable one, but if you refuse the vaccine, you may get a general discharge. And these are people we need in the military. Why would we want this as a force-shaping tool to encourage people to leave the military because they believe in science?
Well, we know the military has sort of a dubious past in enforcing these vaccine mandates, including in 2004 when they forced service members to take the anthrax vaccine, and 85% of them had adverse reactions. And finally, because of the FDA approval process that was slowed down, there was a suit, a Supreme Court case that was heard, and they were no longer able to force people to take that vaccine in the military. Do you think something like this will happen? Will it go all the way to the Supreme Court?
Well, it shouldn't have to go to the court. I mean, if legislators care about our military, they'll co-sponsor my bill. And one of the co-sponsors is Greg Stubbe, who told me that story of the anthrax vaccine because they were forcing him to take the vaccine until the lawsuit came out, and he discontinued taking it because it was like 12 shots or something. Mm-hmm. And he got and so he was telling me that story as well. And so he was happy to co-sponsor this bill. Let's just ask the members of the military. Now, can they legally do this? Can they constitutionally do this? They probably can, because there's a long history of forcing members of the military to take the vaccine.
Absolutely.
It's not always been a good history, but in this case, it doesn't make our force more ready. It doesn't make them healthier. Just follow the science. Certainly consider those who've already got immunity. Test them for antibodies. There's no need to give them a chance at an adverse reaction if they've already got immunity.
What if they don't have immunity, though?
If they don't have immunity, then look at their risk group. Are they 18 to 24-year-old? Are they male? Are they likely to have, or when I say likely, I mean more likely. In the Israeli study, they found that 1 in 5,000 in this age group of 18 to 24-year-olds males could have this reaction.
Yeah.
Are they in that group, or are they an older person and maybe not in shape, or do they have some comorbidity? Just follow the science and see if it makes sense.
I understand that. I agree with you on all that, but you're not a nutty anti-vaxxer, are you?
No, I've just recently got a tetanus shot and a hepatitis shot. I've got all my shots. I don't have the experimental shots, and I'm not going to take this vaccine because I've already recovered from COVID.
Yep.
And the study from, from Israel shows that your natural immunity is just as good as the vaccine, and the study from Cleveland Clinic shows that those who've got natural immunity don't benefit from the vaccine.
Ooh.
This is the biggest cover-up in this whole pandemic is from the CDC
I don't
and
know,
Fauci
man.
ignoring.
I think there's a lot more big cover-ups that we're not getting to the bottom of, including where the hell this thing came from in the first place. Thanks for getting sassy, Congressman Massie. Always good to talk to you.
Good talking to you, Kennedy.
Thank you.